Hey everyone, I wanted to actually do a little short video here. Recently took a couple of pictures and posted on my own personal little Facebook about just a hotel that was actually walking by on Lexington Avenue, and I realized it's actually the only hotel on that street. Obviously, I like to actually call Lexington Avenue a hotel restaurant row, just because all the freaking hotels are there and there's restaurants in the lobbies or bars, everything else. Thought I'd go ahead and just do a little walk by from around the Grand Central terminal area and just show you a couple of those hotels. Now, mind you, during these harsh times here, and unfortunately even during the holidays, a lot of those hotels are still closed. And one of them, which is really unfortunate, has closed permanently. I'll definitely show you a little clip of that. So I'm actually approaching Lexington Avenue right now. Go ahead and pan the camera a little bit. Been on Lexington many times for many reasons. Coming back from visiting family, bouncing between work locations, you name it. So let's go ahead and take a little bit of a film, and I'll show you some spots that have a little significance to me. Over there is a post office building, pretty old, right next to the Grand Central Terminal. One entrance at least, the Lexington Avenue one. There's an entrance on Park and also a street in between as well too. This is around 45th Street and Lex. Over there, as you can see, a Midtown Comics location that co-workers of mine, after we used to finish work, and around 53rd in Lexington, just a couple of blocks up north, would actually come down here. I'm actually not too crazy about comic books myself, but I would join them occasionally. One of my co-workers bought me a Popeyes comic, which I still have somewhere. And don't hate me, I'm not particularly a big fan of Marvel stuff, though grew up liking Batman, not so much Superman, but you can always ask me some questions. I'm pretty sure I'll shoot you some answers. I'm about to cross the street here. Try to get on the other side. Here's one hotel over here called Club Quarters that I've not stayed at myself, but friends of mine from out of town have. I invited them over to the city. It was a little wedding thing for them after they got married the year before. Still together. And they were completely in awe being on the upper floors. 20 something, I think. And took them up to like the little rooftop bar area where my friend's husband took out his pipe and had a smoke. It's just that time of the day. Looking out and seeing the freaking view of pretty much what you're about to see over here down the street, just from the 20 something or 30 something floor. You can't really see it here unless I cross the street, so I'm gonna risk my life over here. You can actually see the Chrysler Building up there. Yep, there it is. And that definitely caught his attention. The architecture stuff really caught him. Taking him to Grand Central Terminal was great too. Both of them I had a really good time, so I'm actually happy about that. Let me cross back here and just continue walking. Actually, further down there, I think about an avenue or two closer to is actually where the UN is, and not too far, you can't really see it from here, and I'm not going to walk down there at this time, is a building called the Uganda House. And even though I actually didn't get my visa to actually go visit East Africa and Uganda from there. I did stop by just to actually visit the building. Pretty interesting site. And if you guys want any more details about my trip to Africa, I'd be more than happy to tell you about it. Actually, 2 trips. And it wasn't for safari. Though I did take a little safari trip at one point. It was only about a 5-hour trip. This area also has a lot of bars and stuff. Japanese restaurants, oof, definitely quite a few. Really good, a little expensive, but definitely amazing. Over here is a $1 pizza shop. I've actually gone here many times. Even at 4 in the morning. Around midday, I would say this place is pretty bustling with a lot of people walking back and forth. Different locations, particularly around noon. Very busy for sure. And even like this, well, this isn't particularly a normal evening during a normal time. So now we're approaching 47th. And I'm going to start hitting those hotels that I just mentioned earlier. I did actually work at a location up north on Lexington. The building is actually 345 Park. The company no longer is a tenant there anymore for some time now. And so I've actually been to this area quite often. My real working location was actually in downtown Manhattan in the financial district, but occasionally over here and another avenue over on Park Avenue. If I'm really not in the mood for a protein, like a burger or something. Store over here used to be like some robot store which had robots that would clean your house or something. I don't think that place lasted too long. These are little clothing shops just in the lobby area of this hotel called the Roger Smith or the Roger Young. And seems like it's probably open, but definitely empty. I actually would see a number of people in the lobby. People out here hailing cabs for sure. I've always used to walk by this area and walk by this particular bar and lounge over here, and I believe they even had some live entertainment here at some point. I kept telling myself I was going to grab a meal here one day, or like a little lunch. It's a nice little area to grab lunch for sure. Up here looks like it's going to be a gym. Speaking of gyms, actually, I actually used to hit this area quite often, even after I left my last job, workplace, whatever you want to call it. There's a near, of course you guys can guess it, a New York sports club just a few blocks north, and I used to go there quite often in the evenings, occasionally in the early afternoons around 12:15, 12:30 for a class. And of course anyone who goes to the gym knows how freaking hungry you feel right after. So, walk a few blocks down for $1 pizza. Up in this corner is another hotel over here. I'm not sure if it's the one I think it is, but I'll definitely know once I walk by it. Just want to let you know right across the street is an Intercontinental. I've not stayed there or gone there. But if this is a hotel I think it is right here, I definitely have stayed here. But I could be wrong. So let's just walk by. Here's another little restaurant that I used to walk by too. See it really crowded. It's like a whole bar thing going. See if I can lift this up. They got some Stuff blocking the windows, but you can probably see it a little bit. A little close up at the menu. Well, it's not the hotel I stayed at, but up here is the hotel I took pictures of just a handful of days ago that still gets to me, that's closed. This is the Marriott East Side. I don't believe it was doing too well pre-pandemic. I'm not sure, but it's definitely gone now. I'm going to try to cross the street here in a moment so I can get a better view. Up there, there actually used to be a couple of heat lamps, so you can probably still see them, to be honest.
Machines can't really do that.
So when you would walk by them, oh yeah, it feels great, especially on a cold day, cold evening. Doorman used to be over here. Used to sometimes give him a salute and he'd wave back at me. Let me go ahead and get a better view crossing the street. Up in those flagpoles used to be a Marriott flag along with the US flag, and probably the New York flag as well too. So I'd always walk by this property again, going for some $1 pizza. Doing a little research, I actually did learn that this building is no longer owned by Marriott, so actually this place is I'm not sure what they actually plan to do with it, unfortunately. As of, I would say, early fall, still no idea. I do have a name or two who I can always reach out to what they're planning to do with this place, but yeah, but you know, it's irrelevant to me at this point now. It's no longer a hotel. I also wanted to show over here on this side of the block, there's a Chrysler Building again. These used to actually be stores, and I remember one of them was a toy store. You know, slightly overpriced, but it is what it is. And all these stores are now gone too. Can't really tell you when they disappeared, but hey, if anyone knows, by all means, leave a comment. So yeah, just again walking by the Marriott East Side Marriott, whichever you want to call it. It used to be, I actually noticed that those heat lamps are actually still up there. Let's see if I can actually just aim that up. Oh, you can actually see the street's still pretty active, but you know, unfortunately, as I said earlier, this property is gone. Can't really tell you since when it's been boarded up. But yeah, definitely been a while, I'd say. I'm sure one of the side entrances are probably being used for construction or workers and stuff like that. Let's see what they say here. No, just building security, call security, etc., etc. So yeah, this is a really aged building, and unfortunately it's no longer what it used to be. approaching 49th here, and this is definitely a familiar building over here. I believe it may have changed names sometime back, because I don't remember this name when I stayed here. I'm talking, this is probably back in like 2012, 2013, and maybe 14 as well too. Here's a hotel I actually stayed at a couple of times, I'd say, when my job in downtown Manhattan wanted people to be at work the next day on a snow day. And if anyone of you works for hotels now, during a snow day, people panic and get rooms everywhere for all their employees. Obviously, this is before remote, being able to work remotely some days, so to speak. I'm going to try to back up a little bit over here. But this is the lobby, entrance right over here. Probably get a little close up. That's where you would actually go check in, right over there. Maybe I can actually turn my light on here, probably give you a better view. Oh yeah. And it's a little reflective. So here's your lobby area. And right to the side over here is like a really upbeat bar. Pretty active at night. Also a little pricey, but you know, get to chat with people after work and other guests. See a little sign over here. So I did actually stay here a couple of times for work, to be at work the next day, even though I still take the train all the way downtown, or a cab, so to speak. Nothing too special. The rooms are small. I can't even tell you how much it was here at night. It's like $400, $450. Sheesh. For that money, I'll sleep anywhere in the city for you. But yeah, we had a job to do the next day, so there it was. I actually just noticed that this door over here has been damaged. So unfortunately, victim of possible vandalism. You can actually see it's all slanted over here. Shoot, I didn't even see that. That's really unfortunate. You can actually hear the subway underneath. Since walking by this property a couple of times over the last few weeks, months, since I was doing some filming here, I have actually not seen this property with anybody. Unfortunately, some people here have made a home and left a mess down here, if you get my drift, but oh well. It is what it is. So that is another hotel that unfortunately is closed, now named the Maxwell, New York City. And yeah, just another property that I'm actually a little familiar with. I'm pretty sure this name might ring a bell to some people as well too. This hotel's been under renovation for a really long time. A couple of years now, I'd say. I have actually not stayed here, but my cousin has. And some of her friends from out of town, work-related stuff. You know, I hear it's a really nice property. She unfortunately had an iPad stolen. At the time, my cousin lived in another country, so I had to actually deal with the after effects and do a claim on it and everything. Long story short, the iPad arrived to this particular hotel. So a friend of hers who actually was staying here would bring it back to that country with her and give it to her, give it to my cousin. My friend had her friend had already left the property, and the iPad arrived the next day in a box. So I decided, okay, I'll just go pick it up, show some ID, they'll call it in, and sure, release it to me. Nope, the sucker was gone already. Somebody snatched it. But after a couple of visits and receipts and stuff, oh yeah, my cousin got compensated for it, rightfully so. I wonder if that building would ever open again, because considering what's going on these days. But I hope it does. Over here is a property called the Benjamin. If you didn't see the logo up there, I'll go ahead and pan it up a little bit. And the door's open, so it looks like this property is probably open. Down here used to be a restaurant as well too. I think they had some little bit of live entertainment. So you can actually see inside. Very pub style seating, but also very nice restaurant. There you go, the National Barn dining rooms. I think they had a second floor here, and there it is, the stairs. Whoops. Another property I actually told myself I would have a nice little filet mignon or something like that over here. Enjoying some good company with somebody, and over here is the menu.
Just kind of learning what is good to load up.
And here's a little sign of recent times over here. This is where you would enter, make a reservation, or call your name out. And as promised, I'm gonna go ahead and pan up here. Not at all. Sorry, I was in your way there. So a nice gentleman over here actually told me that, yeah, this is one of the few hotels that are still open along this hotel restaurant strip of mine over here. And you can see that him and another gentleman are packing some stuff up for a guest who's actually checking out, I guess. So yeah, nice little heat lamps up there, keep you warm. Always some sort of construction going on here. Try to look a little bit higher of a Waldorf Astoria. Definitely see a lot of covering going on there. Definitely work going on. Before you know, the unfortunate events of this year hit, I would say I must have seen some construction people coming in and out of this building. Over here is a Doubletree Hotel, part of the Hilton brand. I've actually stayed at a few Doubletrees before around the country, and didn't have such a very pleasant experience in the last one, but they definitely made up for it. So I definitely have to thank them for that. And I remember over here is this little cosmetic shop where two employees would stand outside and act condescending to people. In my opinion, you don't just go up to a random person and say, "Hey, pretty lady, come in. I make you more beautiful." Unfortunately, cannot tell you if this hotel is actually even open, so I'm going to get a little closer. But I'm going to say probably not. There's no one at the desk. I came here a couple of times. Doubletree always have a cute little tradition of giving you a nice warm chocolate chip cookie as you check in. And I actually knew somebody who used to work here very briefly. Of course, she moved on to another location, another state. So over here is 51st and Lexington, and subway station right over here. I'm about to close this video out, but I wanted to actually show you over here the location I used to come to. The New York Sports Club on 51st and Lexington, right next to the fire engine house over here. And you can actually see all the treadmills and other workout equipment up there, right over the Dwayne Reed. They actually finished a nice renovation of the locker rooms and everything here. And then this unfortunate thing hit. New York Sports Club, just so you know, it's a little close to my heart, just because I met a lot of really amazing people there in various locations, mostly instructors, but other students as well too, who I still keep in touch with. One of them actually, an instructor, actually opened up her own studio, she told me a few days ago. So I'll probably pop by and visit, and supposedly has massage services available there as well too, not just yoga classes and stuff like that. People have to adapt, so to speak. What's a life worth living when all you do is stand in one place, right? And by the way, that's not my quote, it's from a song. Used to do some cardio kick classes here, which, I don't know, is this place even open? They got the sign out here, so they should be. But unfortunately, you know, the gym's empty. Missed a teacher I got to know here, lives out in the Long Island area of New York. And Bernadette, if you're watching this, you definitely are missed. I hope you're doing okay, and your family in Florida is doing okay too. Actually, now that I think about it, the area that instructor used to live in, I believe, was one of the first areas that was hit in New York State. Which, you know, again, I hope that she's okay. And everybody, definitely, if you know anybody in the hospitality industry or any other industry, has definitely been hit hard. You know, reach out to a friend, a family member, former coworker. Definitely see how everyone's doing. Again, like I said many times, sometimes all everyone needs is just a how are you and a hello even. That's the 345 Park building, one building I used to work at some time back. The lobby's been completely renovated. And yep, not a hotel or anything, but I'll show you. I have some funny memories from that place. I'll go ahead and cross the street here if I can, give you a nice little tour of Lexington. Back in May, I would say there was hardly any cars here, mostly buses. I'll just give you another little pan, aiming down towards Lexington. You see the Doubletree there, and of course the Chrysler Building yet again. So from Grand Central to here, it's about a good 8-9 blocks, just about. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Oh, there's a city building actually. I had a family member who used to work there. Actually, maybe I'll finish up the video with a little surprise. Walking towards Park, I know some of these buildings actually have trees that are decorated with lights, which I actually really enjoy seeing around this time of the year. And this is the same building I mentioned before that I previously worked at to some degree. Even though we're on Lexington Avenue, the address is 345 Park, because obviously there's another entrance on Park Avenue. For whatever reason, they call it 345 Park. Here we go, on Park Avenue. That looks nice, the Metlife Building, formerly a Pan Am building back in the 60s or so. And here are those nice lights I promised you. And by the way, that's the other entrance on Park Avenue to the building. I think the NFL is in there too. Well, they got an office or something. I actually miss seeing these. They're always a sight to see. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and definitely shoot a like and subscribe. I definitely will be doing more. I'm actually enjoying doing these little walk stuff throughout the city, though I have to tell you, pretty rough time to be doing this for sure. Everyone take care, and of course, as always, stay safe.